Let's start with the obvious question. What is UX design? So UX stands for user experience, and UX design is all about making the apps and websites you use on a daily basis easy and intuitive to navigate. So if you've ever been frustrated by a badly designed app or website, you may well have a feel for UX design. So it's safe to say that UX design is a widely sought skill in the 21st century. It's only going to get more important. Compared to other jobs in tech though, UX design is a fairly new development. So where did UX design come from and why? Well, put simply, the ever-evolving nature of technology has demanded it. More products than ever are experienced on the screen, and digital services are continuing to expand. So it makes sense then that UX design is a whole job role in its own right. Now you may have heard about UI design. So UI stands for user interface, and some roles will encompass both elements of UI and UX. The core difference is that UI designers tend to focus more on the visual aesthetics and interactivity of the product, whereas UX designers tend to focus more on the structure and the user journey of a product. So to give a house building analogy, whilst a UI designer could be compared to an interior designer, a UX designer is more like an architect. At graduate level, it's much more common to start off in a general design role before specialising further down the line. So where do UX designers work? Well, one of the best things about UX design is the variety of industries and organisations you can find work in. You can go for fintech, government, e-learning, healthcare, you name it, and there's probably a role for a UX designer there somewhere. As such, you can work for private companies, public bodies, and not-for-profit organisations, and you can take your pick between working for a large multinational and a small to medium enterprise. Or you could look to work at a web design agency rather than working in-house for one particular organisation. And if you prefer working for yourself, freelancing is also an option if you have a good portfolio of work to demonstrate. So in essence then, there is no shortage of opportunities of where to work as a UX designer. So what does life as a UX designer look like then? Well, generally speaking, you're going to get quickly used to wearing all sorts of hats as a UX designer. Typical day-to-day tasks might include creating mood boards and holding brainstorming sessions with colleagues or clients, researching and building user personas, grading the usability and design of a product, creating user flows to track how a user gets from A to B when using the product, site mapping websites to establish information hierarchies, and sketching and creating wireframes, which are basic mock-ups of websites and apps. After these initial design phases, UX designers will test prototypes to evolve and iterate an idea, and then they'll get involved with UI designers and web developers to collaborate towards creating that final product. Now, you can expect to use a range of frameworks and tools as a UX designer. So we've got the Laws of UX, which is a collection of UX best practices. And then we've got software such as Figma, Adobe XD, InVision, Sketch, and Axure. Finally, how do you get into UX design? Well, many UX jobs will ask for a qualification in UX design or a similar related subject such as web design or computer science. Ultimately, UX design is also a very competitive field, so relevant work experience is going to go a long way to helping you get a job. Now, if you haven't got UX design experience, any product design experience will contribute to a portfolio of design work and the skills you need to be a great UX designer, so that's also an option. So one of the biggest myths about a career in UX is that if you don't know how to code, you can't get a job. In fact, coding experience isn't necessary, and it's much more useful to have a solid grounding in the key software used for UX work. Still, having a basic understanding of how a website is built will certainly help a UX designer in their role, particularly when communicating with developers. Consequently, some familiarity with programming languages such as CSS, JavaScript and HTML could really give you an edge in your job hunt. So beyond the specific technical skills required of a UX designer, other key skills include a strong eye for design, the ability to think creatively, strong problem-solving skills, attention to detail, project management skills, and of course, given all the communication and collaboration involved, excellent people skills will go a long way too. Now, continue on to the next stage of the course, which will give you a sense of what a typical UX design task involves.